Hello everyone, welcome to Learn Data Structures and Algorithm in Python course. In today's lecture, we'll be solving some easy level questions on Leetcode. So let's start. So this is our first question. So this is called two-sum problem. So this is easy level question. So what is the problem? The problem says that you will be given an integer array. So you can see this is an example. You'll be given an array and you'll be given a target. So here the target is 9. So what you have to find? You have to find those two elements. Those sum are basically equals to the target element. So here you can see the num of 0 plus num of 1 is equals to 9. Right? Now, if we find this, then you have to return an array containing those two indexes. So indexes will be 0 and 1. So those are we are returning, right? So go to the next example. So what is the next example? Next example is the array is given 3, 2, 4 and target is 6. Now if we just add 3 with 2, it will be 5. That will not equals to target element, right? Then 3 with 4, that will be 7. That is also not true. Then 2 into 4, 2 plus 4, it will be 6, right? So that's why we are returning index number 1 and index number 2. Similarly, for this array, so elements are 3 and 3 and target is 3. So we are just returning 0 and 1. Let's try to understand. So let's say, what is the array given? 2, 7, 11, 15. Let's say 2, or let's say 11, let's say 15 and 7, right? Now, what is the target? So this is the array. This is the array. And what is the target? Target equals to 9, right? Now, how to find? To find, first, what we have to do? We have to fix a element. Let's say we have just fixed this 0th index. Then we'll check all the elements with this 0th index. We'll compare them. We'll compare sum of two elements with this target. Okay. Now, in the first step, in the first iteration, so the first element will be 2 and second will be 11. We'll be adding this. What will be the value? It will be 13. Now, is 13 equals to 9? No, right? Then we'll go to this element, 2 plus 15. What will be the output? It will be 17. Is this equals to 9? No, right? Then we'll do 2 plus 7. So 2 plus 7. So what is the output? Output is 9. So now we got this two element. Then what will be the index of this element? It will be 0 and it will be 0, 1, 2, 3, right? Yes. Then we'll be returning 0 and 3. Now let's say target is let's say 22. Target is 22. Now what will happen? First, in the first iteration, let's put this array. Let's 2, 11, 15 and 7. Okay. Let's say 11. Now, so target is 22. Okay. Now, first it will check. First this 0, it will compare with this. So 2 plus 11, it will 13. It will not true. Then 2 plus 15, it is 17. This is also not true. Then 2 plus 7, this is 9. This is also not true, right? So this iteration is completed. So we have compared with this element with all. Now what is the next step? We'll be comparing this with 11. Like with 11 to 15, sorry. 15. What will be the output? It will be 26, right? So is this equals to 22? No. Then we'll be adding this 11 to 7. Then what will be the output? It will be 11 plus 7 equals to 18. Is this true? No, right? Then we'll move to this next element. So we'll be compare this 15 with 7. Then what will be the output? The output will be 22. Then we'll be returning 2 3 because the index of this element is 0 1 2 3, right? 2 and 3. So now what we are doing basically, we are just running a loop for loop that will, so I will range, that range will start from 0, then 1, then 2, up to this n minus 1, right? Or we can say n minus 2, whatever you can do. Then we'll take another array for j in range. What will be the range of the j? If we consider this element 0th index, then we'll be adding with the index next to it. Means if we consider I, the range of j will be start from I plus 1, the next element, from the next element up to n minus 1, right? So this will basically to for loop. Then inside that we'll be adding this two value, arr of I plus arr of j, and if it is equals to target, then we'll be returning this I and j. So this is the problem. So let's solve it. First, what are you gonna do? So here, so this is a function. So norms is given. This is an array, and target is given. This is of type integer. So what we have to do first will be running a for loop for I in range. The range will be start from 0 and it will be goes up to let's consider n equals to norms, sorry, len of norms. Okay, now n will be range from 0 to n minus 1. We can put n minus 2 also, that is fine. So n minus 1. So then for, we'll consider j, then in range j will be run from uh, I plus 1 to n. Then inside that we'll sum this out. If nums of I plus nums of j equals to target, then we'll just directly return this. Return, what will return? Return I and j, right? So this is the program. And at last, if we don't find anything, so what are we gonna return? We're gonna return minus 1 and minus 1. This means we haven't find anything. So let's try to run this. Let's see. Okay, these 3 test cases accepted. Now let's try to submit it. Now you can see this is accepted, but the runtime is very big, very large. So later we'll see how we can optimize this problem. Now let's see what is our next problem. The next problem is called contains duplicate. So this is an easy level question. So what is the problem? You will be given an array called nums and it will contain some elements. So what you have to do, you have to check if is there any element repetitive or not. So here in this array you can find this one is repetitive, right? So one is repetitive, but in this array there is no element that is repetitive. Okay, now in this array there are so many elements are repetitive. One is repetitive, then 3 is repeated, then 2 is repeated. So what you have to do, if there are duplicate elements present in that array, you have to return true, otherwise you have to return false. So how we can approach this problem? So similar to previous problem, we'll be running two for loop. First we'll be consider this, we'll fix this element, then we'll be checking with all other elements, right, with one. Then if we find that if there are any element are duplicate, like equals to the current element, then we can tell that this is contains duplicate element. Let's see how we can code this. Let's take n equals to len of array. Let's run two for loops. So first for loop will be I equals to from in range. So what will be the range? Will be running from 0 to, or say, n. Okay. Now we'll be running another for loop for j in range. So j will be from I plus 1 to up to n. Now we'll check if error of I equals to error of j, then means, yeah, there are duplicate elements present, then we'll just return true, means duplicate elements are present. Otherwise, after all the for loop is executed, then if and we don't find anything, will be return false. So this is the solution of this problem. Let's try to run this. Okay, sorry, it will be nums. Now let's try to run this, and always run before submitting. Sorry. Now let's try to run this. Okay, now it is accepted. Let's submit it. Now you can see this is giving TLE, means time limit exceeded. Why? Now tell me, what is the time complexity of this algorithm? You can see there is one for loop that is running from I to 0 to n minus 1. Then there is another for loop that is running from I plus 1 to n. Then tell me, what is the time complexity? The time complexity of this algorithm will be big O of n square, right? But if you see this constant, so length of this num will be 10 to the power 5. But if we square this out, it will be like 10 to the power 10. But the maximum limit is like 10 to the power 8 or 10 to the power 9. That's why this n square approach is not working. So the previous problem also having the same problem, that was also having time complexity of big of n square. In the later parts of this course, we'll be seeing how we can optimize this problem by using hash map, hash tables, right? So that's it for today's lecture. See you in the next video.